I am a Muslim. I want to ask a question about my marriage issue. I got married recently. 2 days before marriage, I got my periods. My marriage was an arranged marriage. We don't have such understanding that I could tell my husband about this. He came to know about it on our wedding night. He left the room and sent me home. 1 week later, he came back and got me back. But he is still angry with me and said I disrespected him. I disrespected the Quran, as my uncle had placed above my head the Quran on rukhsati, that is farewell. He said I disrespected him, I disrespected the Quran, and I don't know Islam. I am a liar. I apologized to him and I asked forgiveness from Allah too. But what do I do now? Am I really guilty that I did bad, or there is a chance so his heart and mind becomes clear and he forgives me? Allah forgives me and we continue our marriage life happily. Please answer me. This is a question posed by a Muslim sister from Pakistan, and she says that she had an arranged marriage and 2 days before marriage she got her periods, and during the wedding night the husband came to know that she was having a period, she was having the menstrual cycle. He gets very angry and he sends her home and then gets her back after a week and he says that you're a liar, you have disrespected me, you have disrespected the Quran, because Quran was placed on the head during rukhsati, during farewell, and he's very angry with her. What should she do? Is it her fault? She asked for forgiveness, she apologized to the husband, asked for forgiveness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is there any way that the husband can have a happy married life again? Point to be noted, dear sister, is that when you got married, it was your duty to see to it that the date of your marriage should not coincide with your menstrual cycle. That's a basic requirement that maybe your mother should have taken care of, or you should have known that generally when you get married, you see to it that you are away from the days of your menstrual period, so that when you have the wedding night but natural, you don't have the cycles or your period during that. That is a mistake that you have done, but that doesn't mean it's something which is haram. It is a mistake you have done and maybe it shouldn't have been done, the date should have been changed, but it has happened. Regarding the point that the Quran was placed on your head during rukhsati, during farewell, there is no such Islamic custom, or there is no such Islamic Sharia ruling that the Quran is placed on your head. This is the custom of certain countries, and I'm aware that in Pakistan, India and some countries they place the head, which is absolutely nonsense. Placing the Quran on the head of the bride, it is totally un-Islamic. There is no such thing like placing the Quran on the head of the bride. The Quran wasn't revealed to be placed on the head of the bride. So this is ignorance, that your uncle placed the Quran on your head. This is not required. It is not part of Islam at all. It is a custom which is un-Islamic. So you are not to blame if your uncle places the Quran on your head during your wedding day and while you are menstruating. So your husband blaming you and saying that you disrespected the Quran is totally wrong. Your husband blaming you that you should have taken care is correct. But if he just tells you once and is a little bit disappointed, is not a problem, but to get so angry that he sends you back home and tells you to go home, this is uncalled for. This is not Islamic. Allah clearly says in the Quran in Surah Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 187, Hunna libasul lakum wa antum libasul lahunna, that they are your garments and you are their garments. That means the Quran specifies the role of the husband and wife to be like garments unto one another. Like the role of the garment is to protect, it is to beautify. So the husband and wife, they should protect each other. They should beautify each other. The role of the husband and wife is like hands and gloves. So for him to send you back home because of this mistake you made is totally uncalled for. It is un-Islamic. It's a mistake, it's done. So what should be done now? My advice to you would be that you should approach some learned scholar in where you're living, which your husband respects, and see to it that the learned person you're going to knows Quran and Hadith well. Not that he believes in customs of placing the Quran on your head when you get married, etc. So go to a person who's knowledgeable, who knows the deen very well, and let him speak to your husband that what has happened was a mistake. You should not take it so far that he gets angry and he calls her a liar, or he says that you have disrespected the husband, or disrespected the Quran, or disrespected the Quran. This is uncalled for. So if someone really puts sense into your husband, who may be a practicing Muslim, but may be so much involved with the customs of the world and with the customs of the society, that he is not following the ruling of the Quran and the Sunnah. It's his duty to take care of the wife, and both should take care of each other. So if someone puts sense into him, and you pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, Allah will soften the heart of your husband. So do this as soon as possible. See to it you meet someone who's knowledgeable in the deen and who can speak to your husband, because if someone knowledgeable who your husband respects speaks to him, the results will be much more better than you trying to convince him. And or you can speak to someone elder in your family who knows the deen very well, who knows Quran and Sahih Hadith very well, who can put some sense in your husband. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may you have a very happy Islamic married life, and you do dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to soften the heart of your husband, and inshallah, may you have a happy married Islamic life.